Hello, my name is Michael O'Toole. Sorry I'm not able to be in class tonight, unfortunately, but I would very much like to share my genogram, so I created this little video. My genogram was created with Genogram Analytics, and I find genograms provide valuable insight and are helpful in the evaluation and treatment of clients. I have already practiced constructing a genogram with a client while in the preparation phase of EMDR. It was during the time, one of the initial sessions, when I was also creating a timeline with them. I like to co-construct the genogram in one of the initial sessions and perhaps send the client home to finish it as homework. I find that by constructing a genogram during one of the early therapy sessions, it fosters the therapeutic relationship and allows for exploration of developmental and relational patterns and behaviors. So, without further ado, I'd like to share this genogram, and it begins with me right here, Michael, born in 1981. I am studying to be an APRN, and the color coding is green for 3/4 Irish and red for 1/4 German. My name is Otoole, so this is one half of the genogram I'll present, and my wife over here is Jacqueline, and she goes by Nikki, which is her middle name, thanks to her mother's mother, her maternal grandmother, who nicknamed her Nikki. Nikki, my wife, is a small business owner, and she is half Irish as well as half Persian. We'll learn more about her parents later. But while we're over on the Alavian or Alavian, Alavian side of the genogram, I might as well mention that Nikki is a twin, and her twin sister is Laura, also going by her middle name Kate. The two of them were born on January 19th, 1985. They are both middle siblings with a very close relationship, thus indicated by this double line. Kate lives in Connecticut, and she works in New York City in media sales, and was married this summer in early July to Jeremy Gonzalez, who's in TV research, 41 years old, the pink indicating of Puerto Rican descent. I alluded to the fact that Nikki and Kate were middle siblings. They have a older sister, Christina, born in January of 1982, who is a hedge fund employee and was also married this year to Roger Garceau. So it is now Roger and Christina Garceau, Roger being a recruiter born on my birthday 1 year prior. So he is 37 years old, born in 36 years old, born in 1980. This question mark is to suggest perhaps they are expecting a child. Christina is 5 months pregnant, and to be continued. On the farther side of this genogram, we have the youngest of the 4 Alavian sisters, who is Danielle, recently graduating from UVM as a registered dietitian student, and she is a nanny for the next door neighbors and eventually Christina's child, perhaps. before motivating to return to school for her master's. Venturing back to the Otoole side of the genogram, again starting here with me, I too have siblings. My closest sibling, indicated by the double line, is my sister Colleen, who is 11 years older than I am. She is a computer engineer, also a September 11th survivor. I have a brother who is 10 years older than I am. The dotted line indicates that there is some distance that has grown between both my sister and my brother, and myself and my brother. Not any specific issue other than he has moved to Idaho, and I see him about 2 times a year on a good year these years. Whereas my sister I can see more regularly, being that we both live in Connecticut. My brother is married as of 2008 to Jonna Mendez. She is a 3-time Olympian. She's closer to me in age, born in 1978. And the two of them have a child of age 6, Declan Otoole, who lives in Sun Valley, Idaho, and is 6 years old and a great character. Lots of love there. So my mother is Mary, and she is 100% Irish. She lives in Connecticut and is a small business owner. She has 2 brothers who live on the West Coast, Kevin and Michael. They're both older than her. Mary grew up in Brooklyn, New York, before moving to the suburbs. Again, Colleen and William were both born in New York, and I, 11 years later, was born in the suburbs of Connecticut. Mary has been married to William Otoole, my father, who goes by Bill, for going on how many years? I'm not even sure of the year that they were. 1969, so my sister's age, for 47 years, almost 50 years they've been married. And Bill, my father, is now retired, and he is half German and half Irish. He has an older sister, Patricia, and 2 younger brothers, Henry and Gerard, who live locally in Queens, who are the cousins and uncles and aunts I see more regularly on 4th of July weekends and holiday weekends, etc. Back to Mary, we can discuss her lineage. Her mother is Kathleen. However, this squiggly line tells us that there was some discord, alluding to the fact that my mom actually had to live with her mother's sister, Nora. My mom's mom is Kathleen, originally Kathleen Walsh, but had been married 3 times. But her maiden name is Walsh, and she is an immigrant, as indicated by this symbol here. And her older sister, who immigrated prior, Nora, again, is the aunt that my mother lived with until she came of age. There was a very close relationship between Mary and Nora, and also between Grandma Kay, or Kathleen, and Nora. My mother's father is Michael Maddock, after whom I'm named. He deceased at age 51, related to lung cancer, and was a painter all of his life. Kathleen Walsh, after Michael Maddock, deceased, remarried Vincent, who also deceased of lung cancer. But it was Al Peterson, who was an Army engineer, that I knew most closely as a grandfather figure. He also died related to lung cancer in 2001. On my father's side, his mother was also an immigrant. Last name is Recchi, the orange indicating Germany. She was a nurse, and she was the last to die, living to age 90, as far as my grandparents across the board, who are all now deceased. My father's father was also named William, born in 1918. He was an Army pilot and established an insurance sales business in Queens, New York, that is now 3 generations going, running strong. It was inherited by Henry, and now if this was expanded, my cousins Christopher and Daniel are now operating the insurance company. William, my grandfather, was the youngest, or the one. I never knew my mother's father. However, my father's father passed when I was 13 years old, 1994, on Christmas Eve, and was certainly a memorable occasion. Now, sliding back over to the Alavian side of the genogram, we can talk about the interesting affair between Hadi, Nikki's father, who is also an immigrant from Iran during the time of the revolution, 1979. He is bilingual. He is educated, graduating from the American University with a bachelor's in chemistry. However, has worked all his life in restaurants and is a owner of a family restaurant in New York City that employed at one point or another all of the Alavian girls. He is a very generous and interesting character. For those of you who know him, and for those of you who don't. He was married. He is now widowed to Patricia Alavian. Nikki, my wife's mother, Patricia, died of ovarian cancer in February of 2016, and she also immigrated to this country and naturalized, earning her U.S. citizenship. However, is originally from Ireland. Patricia left Ireland approximately in 1979 after her brother started to get severely ill with schizophrenia. Daniel, being the closest sibling to Patricia in age, eventually died of lithium toxicity in a hospital at age 40. Patricia's other siblings include Robert, her older brother, Jean, and Peter, her older brother, all of whom live in Dublin, and curiously own and operate nursing homes in Ireland. Patricia's parents, with whom she is being buried with, were Winifred, who died at age 84 of heart disease, and Robert, who died of unknown causes at age 73 in 1981. Patricia was always able to return home after immigrating. However, there's a familial cutoff on Hadi's side, the Alavian side. Patricia's maiden name is Fagan, and Hadi's family name is the Alavian. Hadi was never able to see his parents again after leaving Iran, thus indicated by this symbol, which shows the family disconnect, the family cutoff between his father, Talib, who lived to 103 years old, only passing last year of old age, and his mother, Robab, who lived to age 66 and died of heart disease. Hadi is also a twin. His twin sadly died at birth. Hadi has 4 brothers: Moshin, Nasir, Mahmud, and Ahmed. Ahmed also lives in New York and is a restaurant owner and has a similar narrative as does Hadi. There is a strong familial connection here, and as an uncle, Ahmad is closest with the 4 Alavian sisters, the 3 sisters of my wife, Nikki. Lastly, we have Kathy Alavian, who lives in Canada, Hadi's sister. That is my genogram. I guess I cannot fail to mention that Nikki and I do not have children, although we are in the family planning stages. Dill Pickle is our dog of 3.5 years, and Nile is our stray cat that refused to be directly connected to the family tree, but lives nearby in the periphery. Thank you so much. Again, sorry I could not be there. I hope this was informative and enjoyable. Thank you. Bye-bye.